All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Hopefully, some of you got a chance to take a look at what the social lounge looks like. Stay tuned. You'll have a lot more time to network with other attendees. Right now, we're ready to get started with our next session. Our next session is called Lessons from Founder Stories, and it's a conversation with two founders from the EMEA region. We have Oliver Lates, who is the founder of Nanocosmos from Germany, and Andrew, who is the co-founder and managing director of Zeepay, and he's joining us from Ghana. And to moderate this session, I'd like to welcome our CMO of DigitalOcean, Carly Brands. With that, over to you, Carly.
All right, thank you. Yes, as Mohan said, I am Carly. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at DigitalOcean, and it is my true privilege today to talk to two very fascinating founders, also DigitalOcean customers, about their stories. So let's start with Oliver. Why don't you tell us a bit about your company and your story getting started?
All right, thanks a lot for having me. So Nanocosmos provides a live video streaming platform for interactive use cases, which we call NanoStream Cloud. And who's using this? Typical use cases are webcasting and town hall meetings shared with large audiences. That's a great for engaging with audiences in the digital space now, especially in the COVID-19 pandemic era. And additional examples are corporate events with Q&A sessions, specific vertical business segments with monetized business models like live auctions, betting, gaming, or retail. So quite a lot of applications in the live streaming space. Nanocosmos is a private company, bootstrapped and self-funded since 1998, so we go back a long while. Our claim is go live around the world in 1 second, which refers to the end-to-end latency of the live stream between the live camera and the VR audience.
That's great. And what would you say is the thing that has been most surprising to you along your entrepreneurship journey?
So a bit technical reply, maybe a short answer, how everything is moving to cloud services nowadays, even in business environments. Over the years, I was seeing a change also in the video industry we were originally working in, coming from heavyweight setups, broadcast setups, going quickly to lightweight streaming setups, working in the cloud. We also were starting as an engineering and project company in the broadcast industry, working in that space with a lot of technology expertise required, and moving into a 24/7 cloud service company, which is working in the live streaming space for specific markets. And so also our organization needs to reinvent and morph several times over the years, including the team and mindset. And that's always surprising how these things are changing and how dynamic all that is. And keeping things lightweight and work with the cloud services is a great experience.
Yes, I think this year has certainly taught us that we need to be able to adapt and change on a whim. Andrew, let's hear from you and what your company is and sort of what surprises you saw along your entrepreneurship journey as well.
So my name is Andrew again. Thank you. I work for Zeepay, and Zeepay is we market in Africa, resident office in the UK, and so we handle payments and remittances from all over the world. We focus on that working with mobile. What has surprised me through my entrepreneurial journey is the life of an entrepreneur is not the same as before I went to work for myself. I used to be from strategy. The fact that I actually was strategy consultant for Fireside house and marketing. Then we made bold decisions. We didn't think about how to was because of myself. But working for yourself, you acquire the customer, make those bold decisions. And so you always have to make certain decisions that will save the cost at the same time put you in the marketplace at the right time. You always have to look at minimum viable market. And that's what DigitalOcean was a choice between making investments in serious service versus coming online, and it's never been a regret. DigitalOcean just wonderful because there's remarkable cost savings. We've been able to take product to market much faster, extremely faster than would have done. We have to service, provision them, configure them. With cloud services, we've been able to move fast. I also like the fact that this journey is maybe discover the pay-as-you-go model of being able to pay what you use, what you can consume, which helps these costs. So this has been our journey. This has been sort of our experiences and sort of.
All right, thanks. It's a little difficult to hear you. I feel like your audio is in and out. I should have said that before. I was trying to turn up my volume.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think that's better. Let's see. What about your fundraising experience? What are tips that you could offer other co-founders or other people who are interested in starting a company?
Well, look, my first thing is, first of all, go to market with minimum viable. Never seek to go to market with your 3.0. Always go to market with your 1.0. Go to market with your 1.0. Makes things cheaper for you. It takes you to market faster, and it makes you have a better experience when it comes to scaling. My advice to you on fundraising is take MVP to market, then focus on transactions. A lot of time we go to market revenue overnight. Revenue doesn't come, but if you focus on transactions, you're able to perfect those transactions you're in market. So your first day might be 2, your second day might be 3, but you perfect these transactions and scale it in a more efficient way. So if you focus on transactions, and when you're going into market to raise money, investors
Andrew, sorry to.
Sorry?
Yeah, I think maybe we could turn your camera off. I think there's a little bit of breaking up that's happening. So if it helps, maybe we can turn your camera off. Yeah.
When you go for the Silicon Valley approach, what you find is that you're projecting to grow and get at a certain time, and a lot of times it doesn't happen. It puts too much pressure on you. If you go with my counsel, my thing is minimum viable, push transactions, build that growth in your market. Today, our business is about $1 billion and $1 billion, $100 billion, and we've only done one raise, and that raise was an initial seed raise with it. Everything else has been bootstrapped. Just we've always been transacting other than being revenue focused. Today we're a profitable business. We've come out of value of corporation.
Well, unfortunately, Andrew, your audio is still pretty choppy. What I might suggest is that we do a follow-up with some of the questions that we had planned to go through with you, and we could post that on our blog. We could send that as a follow-up. But I'm going to go ahead and continue with Oliver on what your biggest technology challenges are and how you solved them as you were getting started with your company.
Yeah, well, we wanted to create a unique live streaming technology for low latency live streaming in the browser and bring this to a production cloud system for our customers running 24/7. And we needed to build that up on our own in a cloud infrastructure with the help of companies like DigitalOcean, who were there at the right time, and keeping up innovations and bringing these innovations into production environments and keeping this somehow in a simple, easy to use and lean and mean way. That's really a great challenge, and you need the right partners to make that possible.
Mm-hmm. And as you were getting started hiring, Were there any certain characteristics that you were looking for in your employees that you brought on in the early days?
Yeah, sure. So what I see as a successful and valuable employee is when they bring service and customer-oriented mindset and understanding. So it's not only technology, it's somehow the whole personality and also the interest in searching their own answers. Be transparent team players, down to earth somehow with a similar mindset to the team's DNA and chemistry. And so it's a complex, let's say, challenge to bring the right team together. And it's not only the expertise, but it's the complete picture.
Yeah, I agree. What would you say has been the toughest phase in your growth story?
So
was it those early days? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, coming from an engineering company and then building up a customer-driven scalable cloud service, of course, which needs to grow with our customers, including the deployment challenges on a global scale. That's a challenge. And there was just nothing available when we started to do that, which we wanted to provide to our customers, and was a strong learning curve for us, for the whole team, but also for management, support, marketing, so the whole organization. And we learned to be somehow persistent and believe that our vision would become a reality together with customers, which were always with us and on board to go this journey with us, to also have a kind of a revenue stream backing us with this organic growth. But that, of course, included also some detours and pitfalls, so it's not a straightforward way. And keeping this persistence and in the right way and balance all the challenges, that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Was there something that happened or a mistake that you made along the way that you will never do again, or you'll make sure to avoid doing that again?
Well, as I said, you somehow need the right partners to grow together, and trying to rely on partners which do not bring value. You might expect something which you should not wait too long, because time is everything somehow, and something you cannot buy. So you need to do the right decisions at the right time. And also my recommendation is going back from the experience in my organization is working with business models which are monetized, which bring long-term value to the customer, and roll that out in a kind of agile way, step by step, keep things lightweight and easy to use. So always run products in production environments, getting customers back that, and then do that with the right partners together.
Mm-hmm. That's very good advice. You had mentioned in the technology question that you are a customer of DigitalOcean. Can you share your experience that you've had with DigitalOcean? What has worked well so far? Hopefully it's working well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is, absolutely. And DigitalOcean has been a reliable partner. It's actually somehow one of the launching partners for our live streaming cloud service. Based on their global scale and API use, it was kind of easy for our engineering team to bring our technology live. And to do that in the right time in a quick and flexible way is helped a lot. Actually, one of my engineers did some prototypes. It was an internal R&D project, and he was using DigitalOcean as an let's say, lightweight service to do some experiments with that. And that was the starting point for kind of scalable growing the system in a global scale, which is very helpful to have that as a reliable service in the background.
And why do you trust DigitalOcean to power your business? What have you experienced that makes you feel confident in using DigitalOcean?
Of course, there needs to be a kind of certain reliability, and also including support services. So everyone knows nothing works all the time without any kind of incidents. So if there are incidents, you need to have quick communication cycles and somehow the trust and confidence that things are running 24/7 all around the globe. And so that's why we trust in DigitalOcean as one of our key providers for our live streaming platform, also in terms of scaling up and down systems as we need that for our customers. So that's kind of a long-term strategy decision, of course, always to have partners like that, and requires also a certain standing and growth to make that possible.
Mm-hmm. And in your opinion, what do you think sets DigitalOcean apart from other providers that you might consider using?
Yeah, the ease of use, as I said, the global scale, API integration is very important for us, as a lot of automation is done with our system, deployment processes, and last but not least, of course, the reasonable pricing DigitalOcean brings onto the table for high bandwidth usage, which we do in our specific live streaming services. So bandwidth pricing in this case is very important as well to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm. And just given the recent pandemic that we're dealing with globally, how has that impacted? I know live streaming, video streaming has been impacted. How has your business changed over the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, well, the impact was not too high, unfortunately, but we saw a lot of opportunities coming up, doing things like what we do right now together, right, to make an online conference and share that with the live audience. That's somehow what we also do, bringing events into the live streaming space in an interactive way, engage audiences, enable for questions and answers, feedback. So there's a lot of opportunities around the situation, I think, and to go with this innovation and adapt somehow to this is, I think, very helpful. But as it's so worldwide, and everyone, even in private space, is now used to video communication, the hurdle is not so high anymore. Also to enable businesses thinking beyond and going these new ideas about how to create new business opportunities also in this space. So it's something we see also as an opportunity to bringing new technology forward.
Yeah. And what are your, I mean, you just answered some of this in terms of what's next for the company, but what are your future growth plans for the business, and how do you plan to have DigitalOcean support you in that growth?
So we plan to further grow with our system with also remote areas like East Europe, remote regions, East Asia, South America, Africa. Our key regions still remain North America and EU, but to have a global scale is very important, and to be close to the location of the audiences. And also we see room for expansion for DigitalOcean to grow their outreach. If I may put something on the wish list, I would ask for bigger pipes like 10 gigabit networks and increased connectivity, but we also look for increased usage of the additional services you just introduced in the keynote. So there's a lot of added value which can help also growing these kind of applications.
Yeah, that's perfect. Is there anything else about your growth story, your entrepreneurship journey that you wanted to share that I might have missed?
Good question. So it's always challenging, and it's an, let's say, exciting journey you see. So be prepared for big surprises, but also stick to your ideas and make that in a kind of reasonable way. If you keep it come out somehow lightweight, step by step, and not try to go too fast, but also not to go too slow, then I think also keeping the kind of common sense somehow. So it's maybe difficult advice, but that's one of the learnings I have, to somehow keep the whole picture in your view somehow.
That's right. It's all about balance.
Right.
Keeping growing, but not growing too quickly.
Right.
It's important. Well, thank you. I apologize again that Andrew's audio, we couldn't hear from him today, but we will certainly follow up with his answers to these questions so we can learn more about Zeepay. And I just thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Oliver and Andrew.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks to all of you, Oliver, Andrew, and thanks for moderating this session, Carly.
Of course.
We'll definitely follow up with you. We'd love to hear your story and insights on how you built Zeepay and challenges that you face along the journey, right? So we'll definitely follow up with you on that. Again, thanks, Carly and Oliver and Andrew, for joining us from different parts of the world and really sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.